Welcome to A Cup Full with myself, Tshegetso Mwebi, a safe, honest, and open space that aims to help you navigate healing, growth, and just overall prioritizing your well-being. It is guaranteed to get uncomfortable for sure and very vulnerable, but more than anything else, an opportunity to enjoy the peace that comes with working on yourself. Here's to filling your cup up. Hi community, welcome to a new episode in a new week. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope the new year is going well so far, and by well, I mean that I hope you're happy, healthy, and putting your best foot forward when it comes to everything that has to do with your life. And if you aren't quite there yet, that is completely fine. We are still at the beginning of the year, so don't be too hard on yourself. So in this week's episode, we're going to be talking about taking a chance on ourselves, but not just once, as much as life requires of it, because taking chances on yourself is just like a bottomless Coke or coffee. I feel so blessed to live in a generation or a time where choosing to be different and follow a different dream isn't frowned upon. The hold that society's standards and the really archaic way of living is very quickly fading away. People are not afraid to be freed from the shackles of the rules of living, and there are so many unique career paths to follow and many wonderful opportunities to access. Women aren't afraid to postpone marriage and having kids to their 40s. Young women are founders of six-figure companies at 21. Black women are developing their own hair, makeup, and skincare products and turning that into multi-million rand movements. That's what happens when you choose to take a chance on yourself. Multiple times, without fail, even though the failures, the rejections, the whispers from people saying, now how is someone like you going to make something like that happen? Even when they affect you, even when they get to you. I am so happy that in general there is a culture constantly being cultivated to keep taking a chance on yourself and to not rush your process. And that's why I wanted to talk about it today specifically. We are still at the beginning of a new year. I wanted to remind everyone, I wanted to affirm everyone that the place that you find yourself in your life right now is your place, it's your journey. Don't stop taking chances on yourself. Don't stop fighting for your dreams. Don't stop fighting for the things that you want. And you don't ever have to stop. All you have to do is sometimes take a break. The break looks different for everyone depending on the situation that you're in, depending on your journey specifically. But remember that you have multiple bags of, think of it that way, you have multiple bags of taking chances. And you should do just that. There isn't a limit to how many chances you can take. And if anyone has ever told you that there is a limit to how many times you can take a chance on yourself, how many times you can pursue your dreams, pursue who you are trying to become, pursue the life that you are trying to build, they were not being honest with you. There isn't a specific way that this life is supposed to turn out. There isn't a specific way that you are supposed to be walking or talking or pursuing whatever you are pursuing. There is, however, you, your journey, your lived experiences, and what it is you want for yourself. And you are going to define what your life looks like or what your life is going to look like in the next 10 years. It's going to be through your choices, through how many times you are willing to take a chance on yourself, through the fight that you're going to put up to make sure that you get to your finish line. And I know I always say that life is not a destination. So when I say life doesn't have a specific destination that we're supposed to reach, when I say your finish line, I'm talking about achieving your goals, achieving the dreams that you've always had, becoming the person that you have always wanted to become, healing from certain things, working through certain things, processing certain things. Those are your finish lines. Those are the things that you would like to achieve. Those are the things that you know would absolutely change your life for the better if you worked through them, if you worked on them, if you worked towards them. And as hard as it is, because hurtful words multiple rejections and consecutive seasons of nothing coming together, or it seeming like nothing is coming together, are more than enough to make anyone not want to try again. I promise I've been there. You have to keep going though. You have to keep trying again and again and again until you get it right. Because Rome really wasn't built in a day. Nothing is going to come together in a single day. It takes work. It takes a lot of laying down your foundation and then putting one brick on top of the other and deciding that you're going to be very, very, very intentional about it. And of course, it is very exhausting when times are tough and they seem to be being tough forever. And of course, it's difficult to see through the fogginess of a really, really tough season of having to go through some harsh conditions, some inhumane conditions, which I strongly believe is unfair. I don't think anyone should have to go through some of the things that people go through before they reach their points of success. But the reality is that that is just how life is. Unfortunately, people in the world are not as compassionate and kind and giving and open-minded as they should be. The idea of community or living in community doesn't exist for everyone. When one person is comfortable, they might not have the philosophy that everybody else should be as comfortable as they are. Some people believe that life is a hierarchy, and because of that's what we've been socialized into, which is, I'm not justifying or saying it's correct, that there is the top of the pyramid and there's the bottom. And the people that are sitting at the top, they are at the top, and community is not particularly important or a priority for them. So as long as they're at the top, it's completely okay. It doesn't matter who stays at the bottom, who ends up at the bottom, who is not able to reach the top because of they were not receiving help or support. So community is not important for everyone, and that's why I believe that we go through the hardships that we do before we reach points of success. I believe that a lot of people, if not most people, if not all people, could reach their own fair points of success if there was more support for them, more resources. It could be a much quicker process for sure if there were people that were willing to put money aside, to put kids through school, to provide kids with resources, to pour into communities and build libraries and build more schools and have more opportunities for scholarships, have more opportunities for businesses to be funded without the whole process having to be long and sometimes humiliating. So yes, it's very unfortunate, but it is the reality of the world that we live in, that there are going to be plenty of challenges, and that at the end of the day, as much as you are going to need the right people on your side and you're going to need the blessings from the universe, from God, from your ancestors, and some luck, you're still going to need to work really hard. That's what it's going to boil down to as well. There's a lot in the mix, but hard work is definitely part of it. Challenges can and most probably will blow the wind out of your chest, but that doesn't mean you should stop going at it, especially when it comes to your goals and dreams. I want to just quickly speak on something very important. Sticking around for your process that you are just going to have to go through to be able to utilize or properly live in your purpose. I came across a very short video from TD Jakes. I believe that he was having a conversation with another pastor, and he was saying that pastors are always talking about your purpose, to live in your purpose, to understand your purpose, but they don't often delve into the process that you are going to have to endure, the process that you're going to have to go through to get to the other side, which is within reach and accessibility and being able to properly live in your purpose. I strongly believe that it is yet another way to keep taking chances on yourself, because they are unlimited. And why wouldn't you? Because this is about you and this is for you. So walking through your process is definitely one way to keep on taking a chance on yourself. And in the process, you are going to have to keep taking one chance after the other, because it's inevitable that the process is not going to be simple. There is no avoiding the climbs, the hardships, the long days of working hard non-stop, dealing with the rejection, not knowing what to do because you don't have that specific tool or resource, navigating the frustrations that come with wanting to get to the finish line and achieve each and every goal you have set for yourself. Processes, in my opinion, they exist to refine perspectives, skills, human beings for the better. You learn to be patient, to be grateful, to acknowledge the little and beautiful things happening along the way, to also be truly prepared to receive and taking good care of the opportunities that are being prepared for you, because when the time comes, you will be faced with the responsibility to properly take care of that which you have spent all this time working towards. The process, no matter how long or short, is incredibly important. You cannot avoid it. So don't spend time doing that. Rather, spend time trying to understand the process that you're in. Spend time trying over and over again to improve your wisdom, your knowledge, your skills, to improve yourself and prepare yourself for this really grand thing that you have been working towards, for this precious purpose of that you need to fulfill, that you understand is one of the biggest reasons why you are able to walk this earth, or why you are walking this earth. So instead of avoiding the process that you need to go through to get to your purpose, please allow yourself to be in it. I say it all the time on this podcast. Allow yourself to feel things, allow yourself to be present in them. It's so much easier to understand a thing when you let yourself be present. You let yourself figure it out. You let yourself process it. There are two really important things that I believe we should all be doing to make that happen. To be present, to allow the process to happen, to most importantly keep giving yourself the chances that you deserve. And that's the other thing. You need to be convinced. You need to know. You need to be aware. You need to be so sure that you are deserving of an opportunity to try again from yourself. You know your commitments to yourself. You know the promises that you have made to yourself. So you are the one that needs to keep affirming you and keep telling yourself that, okay, this didn't happen this time. We're going to try again this way. We'll use this route. We'll try when it's maybe not as rainy, or when it's not as cold, or we'll try again when it's colder and when it's a bit rainy, because in these temperatures, trying this is not going to work. The first one, and I've said this often, is you've got to learn to block out the noise and focus on your own journey. Understanding that your life and purpose are unique to you is going to be one of the biggest and best steps to understanding that you cannot waste your precious time comparing yourself to others or listening to other people's negative opinions about you. When I say negative opinions, I'm talking about a person who is constantly telling you that not many have been able to do this, so why do you think you would? You're not talented, you're not capable. Perhaps when you've gone for an audition and you know your strengths, you know your capabilities, you know you're an excellent actress, you know you're an excellent singer, you know that whatever you have come up with could be life-changing, not just for you, but for other people. You shouldn't allow yourself to permanently be discouraged just because of somebody else had something negative to say. So please just go harder, actually. Go harder. Keep going. Fight for yourself. Fight for what you want. Don't allow the limitations that other people have put on themselves to be the reason you stop taking chances on yourself. And girl, I get it. Fighting is so exhausting sometimes, especially if that's what you've done for the majority of your life. If you have just had to fight for every opportunity and it's felt like you are constantly coming up last, you're never ever at the front of the row, you are knocking on doors and nobody wants to open for you. That is also, again, another unfortunate reality of coming from nothing. There's just going to be a certain fight that you're going to have to fight. But the thing is, you're going to have to be willing to get into that ring and fight for what it is you want, what it is you know you are meant to get, what you are meant to be doing, what you are meant to be living in. That's going to be you. You're going to have to decide whether you're going to go for it. or not. So it's up to you in a very big way. It really is. And it's a humongous responsibility, and it's a very complicated responsibility. But that is the reality of standing up and deciding that you want your life to look different, that you want to heal from the trauma, that you want to work on processing things that you were not able to process when they happened to you, really painful things, things that have been very damaging towards you, things that have hindered your progress emotionally, mentally, physically. When you've decided that your purpose is this and you want to live in it and you want to make a difference, there's going to be a battle involved, and sometimes it's going to take long and sometimes it won't. But the reality is, a lot of the things that we are looking to have in our lives, we need to work for. They aren't just going to fall into our hands. I really don't like to use the word resilience lightly because of it encompasses so much that has to do with being able to keep moving even though the hardest seasons have happened for you, even though the harshest conditions and some of the most daunting circumstances have been what you've had to live with or live in for a really, really long time. But if there's something that I've learned from taking a chance on myself over and over again, I have learned to see the word resilience so much more differently and appreciate it and understand that I am really resilient because I refuse to give up on my dreams and I refuse to give up on myself. I fight, I push, and it has made me a completely different person, not hard in any way, not cold in any way, not selfish in any way. As a matter of fact, the resilience that I feel that I have makes me want to be in community with other people. I want to be in community with other Black women. I want to learn from them. I want to grow with them. I want to teach them this form of resilience that I have learned. Resilience used to mean being able to just endure pain and hardships and come out stronger. But the reality is often you don't come out stronger, you come out traumatized. So I call myself resilient now because I keep taking chances on myself and I'm not afraid. And I take so much pride in that. And that's something that comes from taking chances on yourself. You end up with a special kind, a special form, a unique resilience. You aren't angry. You do get tired. You are still very human. You don't have some kind of strength that just is able to endure some really traumatic and hard things. No, we are human. I'm most definitely a human being, but I'm resilient enough to get up every single day and say to myself, yesterday was yesterday. That is not a reflection of how the rest of your life is going to look. If you didn't get something right yesterday, we're going to try again today. And then we'll try again tomorrow. And then we'll try again the next day. And my resilience is allowing me to appreciate life and to see the beauty of my life and to see the beautiful things in my life. So it's something good that comes out of picking yourself and trying yourself and being good to yourself in that way. Not giving up on yourself and giving yourself as many chances as possible. That is resilience. That's what I define as resilience. So I really am proud of the fact that I am the woman who knows that even though I have some very dark times and I'm faced with certain challenges, even in the present, I'm still very blessed and still very capable. I still have a life that I must work towards building. I've allowed my life experiences to be stepping stones for my healing, growth, peace, happiness, being able to express gratitude, to embrace the beautiful things that exist in my life. I want to keep pushing. I find that I want to live my life to the fullest. That lacking certain things, especially the material ones, doesn't mean a thing. But having my mind, heart, spirit, and body set up right is all that really matters. Because I can still get the material things tomorrow. I can still get them in the next year. They're still going to be around. But the moments that I have, the opportunity, the time that I have to spend working on my healing, working on my growth, working on my mind, working on my heart, I can't get that back. And I want to use it wisely. And I'm glad that when I do use it wisely, I'm able to reap some really amazing rewards. So I'm really happy that ultimately I'm able to see the value in pushing through. I really do. I see the value every single day. And I'm also so much more focused on seeing through the promises that I've made to myself. Completely focused on taking many chances on myself. So please don't mind what other people are doing or what they have. That shouldn't be your focus. When you do catch yourself envying what others have or getting worried that you're falling behind because you don't have what your peers do, remember that you cannot escape your life and your journey. You also cannot get the time back that you're choosing to spend comparing yourself to other people. The best you can do is to be as present and as intentional as possible about matters concerning you. Focus on building yourself into the best version of you. Focus on changing your life for the better. Focus on appreciating the version that is you right now. Focus on making yourself happy through making better choices. Focus on taking all the chances on you, on your healing, growth, career, your physical health, finances, skills, your dreams. The list is endless. The second one is to spend your time wisely. This is such an important thing that I'm learning right now. Time is such a precious commodity, and that should not be taken lightly. It's something you cannot get back, which is why you should be wise about how you spend or use it. Think of yourself as someone in the house building process. You're in the property building process. You're building your house. Your life is the entire house, and you are supplying the building material. You're responsible for ensuring the structure of the house is fit for human living. You're responsible for the stability of the house. You are going to have to take your time and use your time wisely too. There is plenty of room to make errors and learn from them, but you can't keep repeating the same mistakes, like mixing the cement wrong or laying the bricks down funny. You also can't give up just because you didn't get it right the first time. So spend your time wisely, learning, figuring things out, processing things, so that when you must do it again, you are able to get it right. And there, you've spent your time wisely. You learned from before and you got it right the second time around. You are responsible for everything that is happening in this house, and you must take responsibility for it. You're grown. You are working on yourself. You are not going to blame anyone for the rest of your life. You are taking full responsibility for yourself now, and you want to be better. You want to get better. What you can do is spend your time mastering how to do things right, so that when you go for it again, like I just said, like taking another chance on yourself, you already know that you're going to do an excellent job. Focus on investing your time on building yourself a good life filled with gratitude, love, support, kindness, and you being able to achieve your goals no matter what. Don't forget the importance of community, which is why I mentioned love and support and kindness. It's very important in the process of growing and building and healing to have a community that you can support and that can support you back. Life truly is no easy mission. It takes time and effort to get things right, and you must be willing to participate in it completely. Not 1 foot in, 1 foot out, both feet in, whole body in, whole mind in, whole spirit in. You don't have to have your house built and looking shiny by tomorrow or in a year or in 10, because this is a journey and not some destination. But you do have to be intentional about it. Be present and never get tired of taking as many chances as many times as you possibly can, because there is no limit. Most importantly, because you know how much you want what you want, and the only way you're going to get it is if you work towards it and take a million and infinity to beyond chances. This is where I'm ending this week's episode. I hope this was everything you needed and absolutely more. You can listen to A Cupful on Anchor, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Please don't forget to generously give this podcast a 5-star rating. I say it all the time. You love it here. And what better way to show it that you do than to rate it with a 5 beautiful stars. Another way to show how much you enjoy this space is to share a cupful as far and wide as you possibly can. Tell everyone about it, especially those who you know need it, or those who would just enjoy listening to it, or even if they would enjoy listening to it and need it. Have a beautiful remainder of this week. Work when you need to, rest when you need to. Take care of your heart and mind. Value your time and space. And don't forget to keep doing the things that fill your cup up.